hold up, I am on my way. I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart.
I've never seen our woods with snow. There's so many branches that want to fall. Ah. Look at the goat yard. Oh my goodness. What is this? That fell overnight. Hi, baby. Is everyone okay? Hi, Clara. Hi, Clara. Hi, Mama. Are you cold? Hi, Mocha. Hi, girlies. You guys cold? I almost died for just a second because I think one of the girls was crying super softly like babies. And I don't know why I thought, what if Clara had her babies? And then I go in there and Clara is laying down. So I almost fainted, but Price is averted. She is not. Look, all this fell last night. I'm gonna walk around the fence. Just small pieces. Well, that one is not that small. That one. I've never seen the creek so close to the goat yard. Oh, there's a big one over there that fell. Okay. Okay. There are still some parts. That was a tree. You hear that? If you hear that, get out of wherever you think it's coming from. Like this is something that fell and broke into a million pieces right here. But it seems like it's fine. Not that the girls are gonna be out today. Pretty sure they won't. Let's see. Fell on the other side over there. Let me go feed them and then keep showing you around. I'm kind of worried about Clara. She's acting just normal, but since it got cold, you see how she's shaking? I don't know. I just added more bedding for her to go in, but she is shaking. And one of the reasons why your animals could be shaking is because they're not eating good quality food, but they are. I just feel bad for her, so I'm gonna try to get a heating lamp or something so she can lay down and be warm if she wants to. She always makes me worry, and as soon as she starts eating, she'll be able to burn those calories. But I wasn't planning to buy more grain because they don't need it right now. They're not in milk. So I decided that I'm going to go get some grain to help her with the calories. She is the one that is farther along, assuming that Mocha is bred. So being pregnant and farther along, I worry. I hate the snow. I hate cold weather. And as you can see, the rest are doing just fine. You can barely see them because it's so dark and gloomy. But Clara is a different kind of girl. She's eating alfalfa and she's also eating alfalfa pellets. But I feel like it's not enough. I think she needs to eat grain. I don't know. She always makes me worry. I'm gonna go get some pellets for Dish Boy too and some greens from the garden that are probably frozen. Look at that. This is touching the fence. Thankfully it didn't break it. There's another one here that fell yesterday. Everything seems fine. But this, in the middle of the way, that I'm gonna have to figure out a way on how to cut it so it won't fall on the fence and break it. Maybe, you know, when I'm not home. Heard a noise. Oh, there's that huge tree that fell over there. Like so many. Oh, probably was some snow. My carrots, my greens are gone forever. I can't wait for this to be over. Hate the snow. And the funniest part is we moved out of Yurt because of not liking the snow. Oh no, I'm coming. I'm coming. Give you an extra scoop so you can keep yourself warm. Extra scoopers.
There is really not a good spot to do this, but since Christmas evening, we've been having a lot of snow. And it doesn't really snow where we live. So just so you can put it in a perspective, this is like not as bad, but very likely to what happened to Texas when they were not ready for the cold weather. It's that kind of thing. You're in a part of the country where it really doesn't get too cold, get too hot. So the roads are not made for cold weather. They're not plowed because there's no snow. Having said that, there's a lot to keep in mind when things change. And a lot of observation, if you ask me, as far as knowing your animals. Now, I recently got goats. It was back in April of 2021. So just a few months, and I've never owned goats in the winter, but I've done a fair amount of research and I started to look always, since it got colder, for signs that they are cold or that they're not comfortable. One of the ways that you can make sure that they are comfortable is by giving them good quality feed for them to be able to eat it, process it, and keep themselves warm. If you ask me, I think everyone is fluffy enough to be warm. And I'm talking about Annabelle, the twins, Mocha, and even the boys. But one of the girls that is struggling to change her coat is Clara. And she's the one that's pregnant. So she's the one that I noticed these symptoms easier, or the easiest. She fluffs up when she's cold, so she starts shaking, and then you can see all her hair fluff up. When she's really cold, she'll start shaking, and that means I need more straw for her in her pen, or in some cases it means that I am the one responsible for her and deciding what's best for her. And in this case, I've made the executive decision of putting them back inside their barn. I don't like the idea of having them locked up, but to be honest with you, we are in a situation where a couple of things have collapsed. We have an awning in one of the trailers, and it's started to rip because of how much snow was on top of it and not being able to melt it because it's too cold. So for us humans, we are going to seek shelter somewhere warm, and it's not in a property today. And probably somebody's coming, but before I go check that out, I wanted to tell you that if we're gonna try to be warm, everyone in the farm is gonna have to be warm, and I mean it. They are a part of the family, and I would never want them to be in a position that I didn't want to be in. Okay, you guys have lots and lots of straw. I'm gonna bring more food. And you girls are gonna stay nice and warm in here, okay? You too, even though you have the straw on your face. Look at that. Lots of bedding for my girlies. I'm bringing some hay, okay? And fresh water. Basically, this is what I did on the other side, but it looks so dark and not so great. So, lots and lots. I think this was a bale of straw, like a compressed bale of straw. So I still have lots to do here. I feel better about having this much straw and then being warm. They're gonna be fine. They're gonna have lots of food, but they need to stay inside because it's just, there's no way. It's just too cold for them, and all they need is food. They'll be just fine, at least until the storm passes and we can go back to normal. Right now it's like ice, very icy everywhere. I'm gonna get lots of straw for the dogs, who are gonna stay in here as well. And while we're gone, they'll have a clean space with food, water, and everything they need. Is that going to be enough? Well, I don't think they want to be outside anyways, at least not the goat. Here's some alfalfa for the girlies. They definitely need some minerals. Have you removed their minerals?
I removed their minerals. Well, not the minerals per se, but the feeders. Wash them, and they got all stained anyway, so I'm just gonna, well, not stained, but the minerals are kind of sticking to the bottom because I guess it's humidity, but they're not that expensive, so I can change them in the spring. But the little girls decided to start chewing on that. Alright,
right, I'm gonna bring the doggies.
So finally everyone is in. The camera lens is probably totally messed up, but I just wanted to clear some things up. As you can see, I'm super red because it's super cold, and we're not used to this kind of weather. And before somebody says that animals should get used to, you know, the cold weather, and kind of that's the normal process, and that's how every farm animal is raised, I totally understand and I respect your opinion, but this is unseasonably cold for us. And not only that, the damage that all those limbs falling can cause, or it can fall not only on a fence while we're not here, it can fall on one of the goats, and I'm not here to hear it happen and help. But it's, you know, maybe where you live it's very common that trees fall. Where I'm from, that doesn't happen. It's not, you know, there's 60 miles an hour gust winds, and it's very rare that a tree falls. At least where I lived in Salt Lake City, everything's kind of messed up right now with the camera lens. Let me see if I can make it a little bit better. But anyways, here, when I moved here, and I realized that trees fall every single day throughout winter and throughout summer. It's just one of the things that happen around where I live. And it's because of the kind of trees that we have, and it's because of the amount of water that we receive during the winter and the amount of drought that we go through the summer. That kind of contrast really messes up with the trees. The roots, instead of going deep to find water, they go to the top, and in the end it creates very dangerous conditions, especially when it's raining, when it's windy, or when it's like today, snowing, which is a rare occurrence. So in the end, I want to keep them safe. And I know that they will be safer inside their own shed with food, minerals, water, and a lot of warm bedding than if they were outside. I totally understand the free ranging and people that think, you know, they should be in the pasture doing their own things. But to me, in our weather, in our farm where we live, it's just the best way to keep them safe. So if I can be inside and be warm and have food and be comfortable enjoying time with my friends and my family, I expect nothing but that for our farm animals. So the ducks are inside, they have plenty of pine shavings. Now, ducks don't really get the water because it really slides off their back. I mean, they're waterproof, if you will, but they still, when they step on the snow, at least my ducks, they don't like it. So I made sure that everything is nice and dry inside their house. Okay. As far as Clara, I got some Sweet 16 mix, which is a dairy mix, and I am gonna feed her that until I feel like she is in better shape. I feel like she's putting too much energy into feeding those babies, enough that she's not having enough for herself, and that's why she's cold. So I am working on that, and I am keeping her extra warm. I am making sure that she has a really warm spot in the barn where she can go hang out if she's cold, and making sure that I separate her to feed her, just to make sure that she has enough calories in her diet to keep herself warm. So thank you so much for stopping by the farm today. I appreciate you coming back. Let me know how you're doing. Do you have a farm? What do you do with your animals when it's super cold? Do you have some unseasonably cold weather? Warm weather? my camera keeps cutting. Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks again, and I will say goodbye from the frozen Oregon coast this Christmas 2021.